Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we are going to cover the current affairs of 12th and 13th of January. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. So now let's start. The Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah recently released a book titled Karam Yodha Granth on the life of which Indian political leader? Right answer is Mr. Narendra Modi. So recently, Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah released a book titled Karam Yodha Granth, and it is based on the life of present Indian Prime Minister. If we talk about Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah, recently his son Mr. Jai Shah became the Secretary of BCCI, and recently Mr. Saurabh Ganguly became the President of BCCI. Present Home Secretary is Mr. Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Answer in comment box who is present Cabinet Secretary. Which Union Ministry is set to launch a program for development of eastern states, and the name of this program is Purvodaya. So recently, Union Ministry of Steel announced a program called Purvodaya, and it is a program for accelerated development of eastern region through integrated steel hub, and the present Minister for Ministry of Steel is Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, and he is member of Rajya Sabha from Madhya Pradesh. Now, if we talk about this Purvodaya program, the eastern states of India like Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, and northern Andhra Pradesh possess a huge share of reserves. However, they are lagging behind in development. So the idea is to ensure the development of these states and these areas which are resource rich, even though they are backward in terms of development. Now, if we talk about steel, recently Mr. Sajjan Jindal was appointed as the Vice Chairman of World Steel Association. The headquarters of World Steel Association is in Brussels in Belgium, and recently Ms. Sophie Willems became the first female Prime Minister of Belgium. In fact, the headquarters of NATO is also in Brussels. Answer in comment box which country was the host of latest NATO summit. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports is to organize the 23rd National Youth Festival in Lucknow. Now, it is celebrated to commemorate the birthday of which famous personality? Right answer is Swami Vivekanand. So, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports is going to organize National Youth Festival from 12th of January to 16th of January, and it will be organized in Uttar Pradesh. The festival is organized to commemorate the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekanand. Actually, the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekanand is celebrated as National Youth Day, and it is observed on 12th of January. And the entire week is celebrated as National Youth Week. If we talk about Lucknow, it is in Uttar Pradesh. Present Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is Mr. Yogi Adityanath. And recently, Uttar Pradesh was in news as Health ATM was started at Lucknow railway station. Lucknow was also in news as it was the host of recent All India Police Science Congress, and this Police Science Congress was inaugurated by LG of Puducherry, and she is Ms. Kiran Bedi. Apart from that, Lucknow was also in news as it is the host of this year's Defense Expo. In addition to that, Lucknow was also in news as recently Prime Minister Mr. Modi inaugurated the statue of former Prime Minister Mr. Vajpayee in Lucknow, and the birth anniversary of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee is celebrated as Good Governance Day. On this occasion, Good Governance Index was released. Answer in comment box which organization released this index. The first in-depth review of India's energy policies was recently released by which organization? Right answer is International Energy Agency. So recently, IEA released this first ever in-depth review of India's energy policies, and IEA released this analysis in collaboration with Niti Aayog. If we talk about IEA, it is International Energy Agency, headquarters is in Paris. Which state government recently announced to prepare special textbooks for children with learning disabilities? So recently, state government of Uttar Pradesh announced that special textbook would be prepared for children who have learning disabilities. Actually, children with intellectual disabilities will be provided these specially designed textbook so that they can learn in a much faster way. Now, if we talk about Uttar Pradesh, the state was in news as India's first university for transgenders will be set up in Kushinagar district of Uttar Pradesh. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently NCRB released a report related to crimes. NCRB stands for National Crime Record Bureau. It is under MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs, and as per NCRB report, Uttar Pradesh is on top position in terms of crimes against women. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh was also in news because of its campaign against filaria. In addition to that, recently the Etawah Lion Safari in Uttar Pradesh was opened for general public. The freedom of speech and freedom to carry on a business through internet is covered under which article of Indian Constitution? So it is covered under Article 19 of Indian Constitution, and recently Supreme Court declared that freedom of speech and expression and freedom to carry on a business through internet is a constitutional right under Article 19. So this is a constitutional right under Article 19 1A and Article 19 1G. And this landmark judgment came at the backdrop of restrictions imposed on Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory with respect to internet connectivity. Now recently one more High Court was in news because of this right to access internet. So recently Kerala High Court passed a judgment that access to internet is a fundamental right. Now if we talk about Kerala, recently Kerala passed a resolution against CAA and it became the first state to do so. CAA stands for Citizenship Amendment Act. The report titled National Strategy for Financial Inclusion was recently released by which organization? So recently a report related to the strategy of financial inclusion was released by RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. And the report also suggested that PCR will be made functional by 2022. PCR stands for Public Credit Registry. So it will be a database of all the creditors at one place. Now, if we talk about RBI, RBI was in news because of Operation Twist. In addition to that, RBI was also in news because it released FSR, that is Financial Stability Report. In addition to that, RBI was also in news because of Money App. It is an app launched by RBI for the visually impaired person so that they can identify currency notes with the help of this app, and the full form of Money is Mobile Aided Note Identifier. Who has been recently named as the new Sultan of Oman? Right answer is Haytham bin Tariq. So recently the ruler of Oman and one of the longest serving ruler in Middle East countries, Sultan Qaboos bin Said, passed away, and after his demise, Mr. Haytham bin Tariq was appointed as the successor. Now it should be noted that it is mandatory as per the Constitution of Oman to name the successor of throne within 3 days. Now if we talk about Oman, it is a country in West Asia. The capital of Oman is Muscat, and Oman shares border with Gulf of Oman and Arabian Sea. Now recently Oman was in news because of two military exercises. One was exercise Eastern Bridge, another one was exercise Nasim al-Bahar. So this was an exercise between Indian Air Force and Air Force of Oman, and this one was a joint bilateral exercise between Indian Navy and Navy of Oman. The biennial Global Pulses Conference named the Pulses Conclave 2020 is to be held in which state? So it is going to be in Maharashtra, and this conference is going to be in February 2020, and IPGA is going to organize this conference. IPGA stands for India Pulses and Grains Association. So this conference will be in Maharashtra. Recently Maharashtra was in news as Maharashtra government started Cyber Save Women Initiative. Apart from that, Maharashtra was also in news as recently Maharashtra Legislative Assembly passed a resolution requesting the central government for a caste-based census. Maharashtra was also in news as recently Mr. Ajit Pawar of NCP became the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra is Mr. Uddhav Thackeray and the Governor of Maharashtra is Mr. Bhagat Singh Koshari. He is a former Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Present Chief Minister of Uttarakhand is Mr. Trivendra Singh Rawat. The State Energy Efficiency Index was recently released by which organization? So recently BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, in association with Alliance for Energy Efficiency Economy, released this State Energy Efficiency Index. And this index was prepared based on the achievement of states towards implementation of energy efficiency. And as per this index, Haryana, Karnataka and Kerala are the top performer of this year's State Energy Efficiency Index. Now, if we talk about BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, it is under Ministry of Power. And every year on 14th of December, National Energy Conservation Day is celebrated. And this is celebrated by BEE. Apart from that, the week between December 14 to December 20 is celebrated as National Energy Conservation Week. Chidanand Murthy, who passed away recently, was a veteran scholar in which language? So Mr. Murthy was a veteran scholar of Kannada language and he passed away recently. He played a crucial role in securing classical language status to Kannada language. Apart from that, Mr. Murthy also played a vital role in demanding the renaming of Hyderabad Karnataka region, and on his demand, this region was renamed as Kalyan Karnataka. If we talk about classical languages, as of now, total 6 languages have been given the status of classical language. These are Tamil, Sanskrit, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Odia. So Odia was given the status of classical language in 2014 and Tamil was given the status of classical language in 2004. Recently, RBI amended its KYC norms to allow which type of authentication? So, right answer is video-based authentication. KYC stands for Know Your Customer. So, recently, RBI allowed a video-based authentication as an alternative method of eKYC norms. Now, this video-based authentication method was proposed by an expert committee on MSME, that is Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and this committee was headed by former chairman of SEBI, Mr. UK Sinha. So this committee recommended that RBI should allow video-based authentication for eKYC. That means now you can complete your KYC norms using video-based authentication. So now RBI also announced that video verification will be Aadhaar based and the user can display his documents via a video chat or a video call. Which state government recently sanctioned money for the proposed Ashfaqullah Khan Zoological Garden? So recently, Uttar Pradesh government approved the funding for a new zoological garden in Gorakhpur and it will be named after our freedom fighter Mr. Ashfaqullah Khan. Now, if we talk about Uttar Pradesh, the state was in news as recently Uttar Pradesh government announced annual pension of Rs 6,000 per year for Muslim women who were given triple talaq by their husbands. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as Uttar Pradesh is the worst performer as per Niti Aayog's School Education Quality Index and this index is topped by Kerala. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently India's first corporate train was launched between Delhi and Lucknow. And the name of this train is Tejas Express. SDFC has completed the acquisition of majority stake in which private insurance company recently? Right answer is Apollo Munich Health Insurance. So recently, SDFC and its subsidiary SDFC Ergo got the approvals of CCI. CCI stands for Competition Commission of India and it got the approvals for acquiring a majority stake in Apollo Munich. So SDFC acquired 50.80% stakes in Apollo Munich. Now SDFC also announced that after the acquisition, Apollo Munich Health Insurance has been renamed as SDFC Ergo Health Insurance Limited. Now answer in comment box, what is the regulating authority for insurance sector in our country? Now coming back to SDFC, SDFC, SBI and ICICI. These three are the DSIB as per RBI. DSIB stands for Domestic Systematically Important Banks. That means these banks are very crucial for Indian economy. Apart from that, SDFC was also in news as it is the third company in our country to achieve a milestone of 100 billion market capitalization. Reliance and TCS are the first two, and SDFC is third such company to achieve this milestone. The Union Home Minister recently launched a center named I4C in New Delhi. Now the center is associated to which sector? Right answer is cybercrime. So recently, Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah launched I4C Center in New Delhi. I4C stands for Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, and it was launched in New Delhi. Apart from that, the Union Home Minister also launched National Cybercrime Reporting Portal, and this portal is cybercrime.gov.in. So all the citizens can report cybercrime related issues online through this portal. Now, if we talk about few other initiatives related to cybersecurity, recently India's first Cybercrime Prevention Unit of India was launched in Gujarat in Gandhinagar, and the name of this unit is Aswasth, and this is India's first such cybercrime prevention unit. It was launched in Gandhinagar of Gujarat. DRDO's naval variant of LCA, that is Light Combat Aircraft, made its first successful landing on which aircraft carrier of Indian Navy? So recently, after extensive trials, the naval variant of LCA made its first successful landing on aircraft carrier INS Vikramaditya. This LCA, that is Light Combat Aircraft, is developed by DRDO. Now, if we talk about INS Vikramaditya, it was inducted into Indian Navy in 2014. Prior to Indian Navy, it served with the Russian Navy. Now, if we talk about DRDO, the chief of DRDO is Dr. G. Satish Reddy, and it is under Ministry of Defense. And recently, Defense Ministry was in news as a new department was created in Defense Ministry, and it is DMA, that is Department of Military Affairs, and it will be headed by new CDS. CDS stands for Chief of Defense Staff, and new CDS is former Army Chief General Bipin Rawat. Which Indian entrepreneur cum investor recently acquired the DHFL General Insurance Company? So recently, the co-founder of Flipkart, Mr. Sachin Bansal, acquired the DHFL General Insurance Company. He bought this company from Wadhwa Group of companies for 100 crore rupees. So these were the important questions of today's quiz. Thank you, and that's all for the day.